I'm about to do Mindfulness Monday right now, so I would appreciate. Hello, everyone. Happy Mindfulness Monday. Been doing these lives on the computer, and so there's a little bit of a delay. So if you saw me talking to Michael, that's what was happening. Getting our technology ready to go. When was the last time that you gave yourself permission to just sigh, move, make sound, get a little wild and crazy? When was the last time that you gave yourself permission to do so? When was the last time that you gave yourself permission to mobilize the energy and the intensity that I know many of us are feeling, many of us are sensing, and many of us are experiencing? Trust me, it is intense. And it goes right along and right on time with the timeline of what this year is all about. One of my mentors, Dr. Brian Lum, studies cosmology in very unique ways. And this year, 2022, is two specifically, according to Dagara cosmology and the elements. Two is all about fire, which is intensity. And not just intensity of like fear or rage or anger, but also intensity of pleasure, intensity of growth, really just turning up the dial of the energy, right? Energy is not good, bad, right, wrong. It's simply vibration. And so, if you are not connected with your own fire, in your own intensity, in your ability to be with the sensation of intensity, it can feel, and the world can feel, very all-consuming. Like nothing's going right. It can feel exhausting, like you are burning out. Because when you're not connected to your inner flame, you will seek external energy and intensity that generally over time burns you out and is less sustainable. And what I put in this post for Mindfulness Monday is recognizing the shoulds. Oh, I should go on a walk. I should get off my phone. I should do this. I should do that. I should not talk to that person. I should ask for a raise. I should start the business, right? The shoulds. I call it shoulding all over yourself. When you cognitively know what you should be doing, and we could shift the word, conscious languaging, we could shift the word to say, I know what would serve me, and yet you continue to be in the same pattern and habit and loop, that is a freeze response. So if you're finding yourself in those freeze responses, like you're literally frozen, right? Maybe you're scrolling on your phone, or maybe you're just sitting on the couch and you're not, you're thinking, like your mind is on the hamster wheel, and you're not actually mobilizing your energy to like get up and do something different or speak something different. If you notice yourself doing this, you've gone into freeze. And I think the ability to recognize where you're at in the trauma defaults is important. And it's also important to ask yourself, so then if I notice I'm in freeze and you're recognizing you're shoulding yourself, what's the step, right? Oftentimes we think it looks like consuming more content, doing more stuff, buying more stuff, right? Just consumption, just to feel anything. Because when someone is in freeze, they're in shutdown and they're not feeling much of anything. And yet they are seeking stimulation because they do want to feel something. Because as human beings, we want to feel, we want to sense, we want to experience ourselves and ourselves. So the first step is acknowledgement in anything. Donnie Epstein talks about AAA, right? First, acknowledge and accept where you're at. Really become aware, then acknowledge, then accept. AAA. Have grace. Self-recognition, my friends, is so powerful. And in self-recognition, there must be then self-mobilization. Not shaming yourself, but say, okay, this habit, this way of being, this pattern has served me. And it isn't until we fully get the lesson of those habits and behaviors and actions that we'll actually break through it. So one, you have to recognize how it served you. It has served you, right? It has served us and the culture to be in certain ways at this time. And there must be a recognition of what is my life calling me into, right? And allow it to be inspired, not shoulds or have to or even need to. That comes from a place of desperation. We want it to be inspired, no pun intended, but inspiration comes from within. And this also starts with understanding your values, what it is that you value in life, and stop living into other people's values. That's where we get the shoulds. Like, I should do this, I should do this, I should do this. Well, you're probably living in someone else's values, and therefore you're subordinating to them. Or them could be the company, right? So the first step is acknowledgement. And on a nervous system level, the first step is recognizing when you're going into freeze and saying, oh, I'm shooting myself. And here's the thing. This is where the body, mind, and breathwork exercises that Ashley and I facilitate can come in handy, because it's not that you need to go out and do the thing and get outside and, yes, get outside for sunshine, but we think it's so much more effortful than it really is. And so what I would recommend is, if you notice you're in freeze, allow your body and your breath to give you the wisdom and the inspiration for your next aligned step. So mobilization could be in that moment laying down. Maybe you're on the couch and you're scrolling, or you're, whatever you're consumed in, right? And you recognize you're in the pattern and the habit. Literally just moving your body and sensing your body moving. Yes, I know that seems weird, but it's biology and it's neurology. You have to teach your system. I invite you to teach your system to get into alignment with inspired action. It does require a level of mobilization. So mobilizing your breath, mobilizing your body allows the system to come out of freeze and recognize oh shit, the way that I was in this pattern does not serve me anymore. And sometimes when you're waking up, especially now more than ever, I've seen, when you're waking up, it can feel like waking up from a nightmare. It can look really disorienting. It can look really chaotic, and that is part of the process, right? When people say, oh, I'm conscious and I'm awake, well, sometimes that's you're being like a little baby being born, right? It doesn't look pretty. It's a beautiful process, right? We love birth, but it can look really messy. So I invite you to tap into mobilization. Ashley is going to be facilitating our next Soul-Filled Saturday, this upcoming Saturday, where we're going to be talking about actually connecting with those patterns first and connecting with these different parts and rhythms, and then moving into all right, I feel my energy in my body. I feel these emotions. And once we feel the emotion enough, and once we connect with the bound energy and liberate the bound energy as emotion enough, that then emotion then turns into action, right? We feel enough intensity to catalyze us taking new inspired action that's in alignment with our values, with our mission, with our goals, with really who we truly know we can become and be in the world. It's just that maybe we've been programmed into something else. Maybe we've been told that, well, that's not possible, or, that's silly, you can't do that, right? I'm sure we've all heard those levels of conditioning. It's time to shift that now more than ever. And guess what? Your body is brilliant, and your body will wake you up to get you into alignment. The symptoms and the challenges that you are experiencing are simply feedback loops to get you to wake up. Your physiology is doing everything it can to get you to wake up to your own power in alignment. And if you're failing to listen to your physiology, it will then show up in your mental capacity, If you fail to listen to that, it will then show up in your relationships. So you're, next level out, right? If we go into the hierarchy of systems, if you're not listening to that, it will show up in your societal systems, the ecosystem, and eventually the global system, right? The economy, the planet, right? It's all getting us to wake up. It's all getting us to wake up. And I know it's challenging, but we have to look at what's happening in our body and in the planet and see, like, it's just a macrocosm of a microcosm. It's just a mirror. So if you're judging what's happening in the world around you, what have you not learned to love within yourself, right? If you're judging other people or you're perceiving things in the external world, there's something in your inner world that is calling you to connect with. And I think, to me, at least what I have witnessed in the last 2 years as a holistic provider, is that there has been equal amounts of suffering as well as equal amounts of massive liberation and breakthrough in people's lives that I see on the table. I've seen that. And so, digressing, coming out of the shoulds and into inspired action, we have a lot of opportunities to do that. It's going to be up to you to take action, right? I hear a lot of people, oh, I want to learn about breath work, or I want to like do these things. Like, you want. And when the invitation shows up, it's an opportunity to lean into that. So when Ashley's hosting Soul-Filled Saturdays, that's your invitation, right? We are creating and designing these courses and classes for you because we realize that you're a human being and you're dealing with stuff, and we want to serve you. And then another great way to like mobilize energy, I put the link in the video here, is come to our birthday bash, be in community. Even if you don't drink, we're gonna have mocktails. We are raising funds for a really powerful cause, and we're gonna have a dance party. So that's a really great way to like shake off your energy and be in community. I'll leave you with this on this Mindfulness Monday, is the power of being witnessed. There is such a power in feeling seen, feeling heard, and knowing that you're not alone, and knowing that you can give yourself permission to like feel and process in a safe place. That's what Soul-Filled Saturday is really a safe place to come home to and a safe place to be in community. It's needed now more than ever, my friends. So whether you can or cannot attend, maybe you share this video with someone else who has been struggling, whether they're dealing with increased anxiety, dealing with depression, feeling isolated, feeling like the world is just total in chaos, their mind is spinning. This series, this Soul-Filled Saturday, my friends, is to teach you to learn how to come back home and self-regulate on a regular basis. That when challenges show up, you are able to respond and adapt and feel more powerful, feel more resilient. When you step into situations, you feel more at home in your body. And you don't let the chaos of the world smack you around. That's what we are up to creating, and that's what Soul-Filled Saturday is all about. So it's actually coming up this Saturday, March 12th from 11:30 to 1. Ashley will be guiding you. You are in very, very good hands. And I invite you to ask yourself, what would it look like to give yourself an hour and a half of time for you to tap into your physiology, knowing that sometimes I know when we go into those places, it can feel scary and you don't know what's going to come up. And in community, that's a beautiful place to allow that to happen. That's a beautiful place to allow yourself to be seen and heard and witnessed, and to really come back home into your wholeness and feel that among other people who are doing the exact same thing. You don't have to do it alone, okay? So link is here. Let me know if you have any questions. Would love to see you there, and would love to usher you and continue to be your guide back home to yourself. The world needs it now more than ever. Our first home is here, and when we connect with this home, I believe that our planetary home has the power to reorganize itself and get more aligned and imbalanced and in harmony with our entire ecosystem. I won't go on. You all know where I'm going with that. Appreciate you all. Have a great Monday. Peace, love, and keep inspiring.